Welcome back to Edgewater, Saskatchewan for episode 19 with me, MrSealyp. July 2, and guess what? My silage bales are good to go. They've turned to silage, 5,500 litre, 181 of them to go. I've grabbed the that thing. Mine's gone blank. Big bag handler. Yeah, because it's a small skid steer loader, rather than last time when I leased the little telehandler, I can only lift one bale at a time, and even that might be a little bit iffy. So what I might do, or what I might end up doing, is I might do one load like this, and I might get an auto loader potentially. Yeah, that's not liking that. Oh, actually, that's not too bad. Don't know if it would lift it or not, but it's going to take a little while. But I might actually be able to get the stacks neater doing it this way than I did last time, potentially. But I might do one full load and then decide, actually, and this is the problem you've got with this, because unlike forks or a bale spike, I can't just take one bale, it will grab both like that, which oh hang on, actually I didn't think it, we're on the limit. Didn't know if it would lift that. I need to bring that a little bit closer. Well, maybe it will, I might be alright here. I say alright, I mean that's subjective of course, but you know what? I didn't think that was going to work. Fantastic. Right, well. Yeah, I'm going to move these over a little bit. Especially the top end. Oh, that's alright. It'll be fine. So, yeah. Full load. I'll get these down. Let's make some money back. As you've seen, I've done my I say daily, I'm not doing it daily, but every few days, taking the cotton, taking the wool. It's the first load of wool I've taken, 2 full bales, there's another half there, and my fish. So that fish farm, as I was saying in the last episode or the one before, about long-term sort of, that cost me, was it 20 grand for that fish farm? And yes, I'm putting product in, but it's not going to take me that long to recover that money. The amount of fish I'm getting from it. Oh, let's grab it out first. There we go. There's not a rear weight that goes with this one, which would probably make a bit of a difference. There's not a rear hitch on it either. So I did think about getting a really small the Mantrid lightweight and putting one of those on, but there's not a hitch on the back at all on this. Right, so make sure I get that off centre. I just suddenly realised why these are bigger bales, aren't they? Because they seem to be sticking out quite a long way, but that will be why. No contracts, no crops to harvest yet. We are going to be into August before we'll be able to do anything like that. So I might as well get these sold. And I can look at buying a plot of land that will be ready to harvest. I did do a lot of the work on a lot of the fields, so we should be fairly okay with regard to yield potentials and that kind of stuff. Whoa. Gently does it? Yeah. I've been keeping an eye out on the used vehicles for a used telehandler or skid steer loader, and still nothing's popped up. Something a little bit bigger maybe. It's 12:10. Bales are delivered. We made just short of 300,000, which was about right because it was paying about 273, 274. It was climbing. I did go to various places. We delivered to Larry's. We delivered to the livestock market, and we had 995,000 litres. So yeah, it's about right. Just short of 300,000. We were at 98,000. So yeah, we're up to 389,000. Which is what we were intending. All that work, all that time put in, doing that baling, using the ultimate bale pack and using the quick bale, gave us the bales we needed, which has now given us the money we need. Now, it's time for another bold move, another big step. If we go to here, I said about buying a flax field. So, do what I said, because I thought, oh, I'll have a little bit of money. Do I buy a field like that for 97? Bearing in mind, actually, we've got flax now field here. How much is field 1? 275,000. That's not as much as I thought it would be. That's going to leave us short-ish. No, it won't actually, will it? Oh, do I do it? This is going to be a big move for the farm. This is a big field, which means at harvest time, I'll be swathing all of that. We should get a 20% boost, I think, from. I'm sure it's. I keep saying that. I'm sure it's 20%. I'm going to do it. Am I going to do it? Yeah, because we'll get some harvest contracts come up. Hopefully, we've still got 114 grand, which means I'll still be able to lease a corn header if I need to lease a corn header. I was going to buy the swather to do swathing when we get round to it, but I'll probably lease it. But we'll see. We'll check this as well again, simply because as we move into August, wheat, barley, oat and sorghum will become available in August. So hopefully we'll get some of those crops come up. Into September is when everything else will start popping up, including flax. Peas and lentils I'll be able to do in August as well. So I'll have some harvesting to do of my own and potentially some harvest contracts. I'm going to try and grab as much straw as I can off those fields as well, so we'll be doing a little bit of that too. And then we'll swath the fields of ours on flax, hopefully get a boost with a field that size. So we own that next door as well now, which means that, sorry, I just walked into the storage, which means that when we finish the harvest of flax on our field, well, and our fields, both of these here, I can mow that bit out, not mow it, plough it out. I'm thinking it might be a good time actually to remove this, put in a new one, depending on how much money we make over harvest time. If we go back to the map, I'll show you what I mean. Now that we own all of that, and it's taken up a sort of chunk in the middle, sort of not there, so that's where the sheep are, but here. If I moved it and put a bale storage over here maybe, see if I can remove a couple of fence panels at the end. So at the end here is where I've got my bale storage, or I might switch it out for not just a bale but have a bale and pallet storage. And then I can plough the gap down the middle, and then the field will run right the way across. Sounds like a plan. That's what we'll do. So you've got no more contracts. I haven't got anything to do now, so I'm going to have a break, have a breather. I will see you in August. Like I say, fingers crossed we'll have some harvest contracts pop up. We'll get on some harvest contracting. And I bought the... well, you've already seen the harvest has been bought up. Sold a load more stuff. Yeah, we're good. We're good. See you in August. It's on. We're into August. Harvesting is commencing. I've got 3 harvest contracts, although, yeah, it's very strange. I've been monitoring closely, as you do. So I've got field 27, field 32, field 33. Not big money contracts, not big field work. And if I go up, it was that weird thing again that you have where some of the fields at midnight just went bang, 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 harvested. But I've got a whole load more, some really big ones as well, which I'm hoping when they pop up, they're going to be the 30 grand ones, you know. We'll get a load of crop. I mean, to be fair, field 32 pays 18 grand, it's a biggish field. And we should get... where are we? Oh, I'm past down there. Yeah, that's barley. And that one's peas, and I've obviously got my lentils that are good to go. I'm going to lease... what was it under? I can't remember now. I did this last time. Was it Forage Wagons? No. No, it wasn't. It was under Belt Systems, wasn't it? The Forage Pickup. I'm going to get that in a different colour because my harvest is already... I did white on the Grimmer, didn't I? Should we go yellow this time? Yeah, let's go yellow. Lease that. That's going to be our straw pickup. So we should be able to grab that. We should be able to go to a contract field. I've done it before. It was working. There's been a few updates. A couple of people messaged me and say it is definitely working still. And I had a few people message me and say it's not working anymore. So we'll see. It's always more testing. It's that kind of thing. That's what I keep saying. That keeping it on top of all the changes, all the things now in-game that all interact with each other. One small thing changes, causes a knock-on effect with other things. So what you think you know, or what you already know, what you've already tested, can change with an update, with an upgrade, with a change to a mod, with a changelog adjustment, you know. And that mod that's not supposed to interact with other mods, per se, can then have a knock-on effect that something in that changes something else does, you know. So then what you always thought was a kind of set in stone, this is how this works, turns out it's not anymore. On that note, Heavy Metal Gaming, massive shout out, thank you very much, went through to work out what was causing my problem with the seed situation, and it was the pallet, was it the pallet productions? It was the DD Mod Passion one, that, or like a pallet add-on. So I've uninstalled that now, and I moved a few bags of seed away, and whereas before it was just replacing it with more bags of seed, it's replaced it with a pallet now, as it's supposed to. I removed 2 or 3 more bags and I didn't get another one appear. So fingers crossed that situation is sorted, and that's what I'm talking about, that kind of strange knock-on effect. Now the situation we've got now is, although it doesn't give a rating for what horsepower this header requires, I don't know if I've got enough horsepower to run the larger header. We're about to find out, I guess. So what we'll do is I'll unhook here at the edge of the field, I guess. So first the fields, this one's oats. I'll stop that about there. Just connect it. Unfold the harvester. Is that unfolded or folded? We'll find out in a minute, won't we? And the other question I've got is, well, I went for a long pipe. Let's fold that away. Is the pipe long enough to reach out past the end of the bigger header? It is, that's alright. I mean, only just though, that's not sticking out far enough that you can unload on the go. That's going to be a stop and unload, but if we come at an angle to it, we should be alright. So I guess, like I said, rubber meets road. Let's get cracking. Oh, of course we get straw swath off of oats as well. I was just thinking of the barley. Oh man, this is going to be brilliant. We can absolutely massively stock up with straw. In the straw situation, I could, again, if I wanted to, there's that manure production that just requires straw. That was, I always say this, is it 4 to 3? Or 1 to 3. You get 3 times as much as you put in, which works out really well. And of course on here, when we do flax fields, and that's the thing, when we get to it, well, I'll go into more detail, and you've probably seen other people do it already, but we will swath in the fields, and then we get a different header for the harvester, and it's a pickup header, but it will pick up the crop from the swath, and it will still leave straw behind, but it's flax straw, because it's a flax crop. Flax straw will give us, we can do different bales, you can still use them. I had a great demand, was it yesterday, late yesterday? I think it might have been late yesterday, at the bale auction at the livestock market, and it was full flax straw, which I didn't have any, but the price was significantly higher than regular. Just thinking. I know, I'm going to get hammered again, aren't I? So what I'm going to do, at this point here, I'm going to raise my header. Every time. So yeah, I'm going to be doing a ton of harvest work. I think what I'll do is, I was thinking, I'm not going to say it out loud, because I don't know if I can make it happen, but no, so I'll keep myself, so I'm being cryptic and weird. There we go. Now I'm going the correct way for putting the pipe out when I'm full. We've actually gone that far. I thought we're not going to get a huge amount off of these fields, but maybe. Also need to double check, a bit of bounce on that, but it's working. Pipe out. To say, I wasn't sure it would work with the big header, but you know what? She's doing good. That bird nearly took my head off. Yield potential 100%. Expected yield 64%. Wow. I guess because we're not getting all of the contracts come up, whereas before you would go through a cycle where you'd all the fields that had contract work on, you'd bounce around all of them and do the cultivating or the ploughing. You'd then bounce around all of them and do the sowing. Then you'd bounce around all of them and do the fertilising. So if you picked up all the contracts, most of the fields that had contract work on them, if you did all the contracts, would have everything done. But that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. It does seem to skip a bit. That thing I noticed, I was thinking about this. I know it's going to sound really sad. I woke up in the night. I was thinking about this. We don't seem to get delivery contracts anymore. On Silverrun we did, because it was logging. So there was the specific log delivery contracts. And obviously there was the rock smashing ones. But we always used to get mixed in with the standard contracts. You'd have delivery contracts where you'd go from one place, pick up stuff and take it somewhere else. We don't seem to get those anymore. Yeah, so if I come at an angle. Okay, why is that not unloaded? That can't be from... So if this once before it would only unload into a corner of a trailer for some reason. Oh, I found the spot. It is unloading, I guess that's a bit weird. Can I move any further over? Oh no, it'll continue. That's peculiar. We are all over this, all over it. Just bouncing. It is bouncing, isn't it? I wonder if it's the header that's causing that problem. Okay. That's better. Right, so this one, field 27, has got to be delivered to the Sell Everything, and that is down at... Oh, it's Brenda's, isn't it? Yeah, that's Brenda's, and that's Larry's. You see the poplars are growing? They're going to take a while, but they are growing. Our fields, there you go, with our lentils in, they're good to go, so I'll be harvesting those. Piping. Get it down, turn it on. Beacons off. Carry on. So we'll see where we're at. Yeah, we're getting a bit of bounce. That could be with the header. The header's a little bit big, I think, for the harvester. I say I think. It is a bit big for the harvester. But it's running it. And to be fair, the ground's not too uneven here. If it was hillier, I might have problems. I suppose I could try changing the tyres. Maybe the tyres might make a difference, I don't know. Yeah, there's definitely a bit of bounce there. As long as I don't mind, it's not annoying me, but... See. So what I've got to make sure I do is when I don't complete the contract before I've come to collect the straw. If I try it and it won't collect the straw, then fine, that's not a problem. I'll do whatever, but we'll get the straw for these as well. So a bit of a double whammy. Again, whether you agree or disagree with that, of course you're entitled to your opinions. If it's not something you would do, you don't have to do it. But you can if you want to. The farmer didn't want the swath, wasn't going to do anything with it. So I just said, if there's a swath, can I have it? And they said, absolutely you can. You take it away, sunshine. So that's what I'm going to do. Blimey, this really is going to be quite high yield. Although it's saying only 60%. Anyway, yeah, I will see in a little while when we have unloaded, or actually maybe towards the end of the contract, because what I want to do before I move on to the next field for harvesting, I want to try the straw situation out. We'll give it a go. So what I might do is switch over I'm going to put my QuadTrac on the grain cart, because I need the... Oh, mind you, I can't do that because I need another trailer, don't I? Yeah, it's not going to work. Oh, that was quick. I've delivered 2 full loads now off that one field. I know I said I'd see you later on when the harvest was complete, but it started to rain. I've checked the weather forecast. It's only supposed to rain for about an hour till just on 7 o'clock. I can't harvest because if you harvest in the rain you take a bit of a hit on the amount you're getting off the field, the yield. But what I'm hoping to do is while that's happening, I know in reality if it was raining the straw would be soaking wet and it probably wouldn't be the best time to try this, but what we'll do, we'll get this onto the field, we'll start it up, we'll drop it down, there we go, it is still working, and we'll go around and we'll collect the straw. Now it's only a 30,000 litre trailer. I am going to need to get a bigger trailer. I like the fact we are getting to that point. We've got a bigger tractor, we've got a bigger harvester. I'm going to need a bigger trailer because if the harvests are that much bigger, I don't own a lorry at all yet, a semi or a semi-trailer, but I'm glad we're reaching that point where we're going to need it, because for a while we only needed small machinery because we only had small fields, we didn't have a lot to do, so there wasn't a lot of point. But now we're at a point where actually, you know what, it would be better for us to have a bigger trailer now. I might go for the largest capacity one of these because we're going to hit the 30,000 litres really quickly, as you'll see now. Turn that off. Raise it up. So I'll take this back and we'll put it into our hayloft. Now bearing in mind that's 30,000 litres and we've only done a fraction of this field. If I've got plenty of harvests where I can do this, and we could have hundreds of thousands of litres of straw, which I think I might do, because at the end of the day, the same as it was with the wood chips, I can then have a look around, see what's available that we can do with straw. I know there's that straw hat company that did straw hats and straw baskets that I did on Griffin. There are some other things out there, and there are quite a lot of processes that do use straw. There's a lot of the fertiliser productions. I think that biodiesel one that came out required straw. There's a few. I would be mad not to get it, because if I only do one field where I think, okay, I've got a few 100,000 litres, I've got enough for bedding, I've got enough for making tail mix ration, I won't get any more, then find a process where I could make a bit of money making something else, and then think, I wish I'd have got more straw off those fields, and I have to wait an entire year then for the next harvest to come around. So in all honesty, I think I'm going to do it on any field I can. Again, rightly or wrongly. Now I'm sure, did I get this in the largest capacity I could? I need to swing that auger round. What I did with the auger, where's that going? Because I had wheat in here, I've got wheat in one, and I've still got, did I turn my thing off? What's going on? What's going on? That is that one. Oh yeah, my field info was off. Yeah, that one's got a little bit of wheat in it. So, because I was topping up my fish farming, I took the wheat out of it and I put it back into that one. So I turned the auger around. Did I mention before? I can't remember if I have or not. I said about getting two augers. That auger will put in and take out, so I can just swing it around. Easy enough. That one I think has got lentils in, isn't it, from the first harvest? Oh no, peas. And that one's empty. So what I might do, if we have any crop left over from this contract, I might put it in that one. But we have got our silo over there as well, so we can utilise, you know, whatever I've got I will utilise. So we'll see, because obviously I've got a barley harvest to do. This one I'm doing with oats, and then we've got lentils to do. Is it lentils? Yeah. So I'll swing that around. Actually, I might as well swing it around now. Raise up as well. And that way, if we do have any left over, I can put the oats into that end silo. Just for the time being, I might move them around. No, what did that just do? Did I just put straw into this? Oh, what? I didn't think these augers took straw. That would be peculiar if it did. Let's put that about there. That's enough. Right. And as I always say, I'm going to now continue. I've got more of that to collect. Once the rain stops, I'll finish that harvest off. We'll see if we get any oats left over. I'll complete on this contract. And then I'm just going to, over the course of today, and maybe August 1, maybe August 2, we'll see what happens. We'll keep an eye on the contract situation, and hopefully I'll get some bigger, more lucrative ones. Now I've got my harvester, a bigger harvester as well, larger capacity, bigger header. I don't have to use anyone else's equipment. I've got a bigger trailer, I don't have to use. So again, it's all profit for me now. I'm not losing any money on borrowing other people's gear, so that's good too. So yeah, I'll see you later on when something else has changed. I'm not sure what will change, but something else will change. It's 7 minutes past 8. The rain has stopped. The rain stopped about half an hour ago, to be fair. As you can see, the poplars all growing very nicely. You know, have the shoots out the ground on the bit that I used the grimmer with. This is the third load, 2 full loads at 30,000 litres. This got 28,000 litres. The contract's sitting, I've just missed my turn, at 95% complete. Straw off of that field 27, I got 259,000 litres of straw off that field, which is brilliant. I mean, as a bonus off of that, that's absolutely awesome. So I'll unload until we do contract complete, and then we might have some left over. If we have, that'll go up and I'll store it at the farm. I've taken on, we had a cheaper pea contract, but one on field 23 came up paying 14 grand. So I've taken on that one. So we're going to go to field 23 next and do peas. The barley one, which is that one, I'm going to do off camera, I think. Otherwise, it'll be like the next 10 episodes will be harvest. I mean, there will be a few harvests because obviously there's going to be the swathing and stuff to do. And I think in the next episode, I'm going to tackle the lentils on my fields. I think farm dog's loving it. He loves lentils. He loves a lentil, this farm dog. So what we'll do is we'll move on to that. So I'm going to unload this first. We'll see where we go with regard to the end of the contract. I'll go up and I'll start on the peas. And I'll get the pea contract done in this one. Then I'll move on to lentils. That's what I'll do. And then if we get any, if I get any bigger ones come up, depending on whether they're a crop I've done already or a crop I haven't, I might then bounce on. But what I'm thinking of doing as well, a little bit of the money I'm going to invest in buying a second one of these, because as a rear trailer hitch, I could buy the TARDIS XL version. This is the M. This is a 30,000 litre capacity. If I go for the XL, I could go unreal capacity at 200,000 litres, which isn't, you know, it's not realistic. It's an unrealistic size trailer. If I get a second one of these combined, it will give me 60,000 litres, which is a bit more realistic and a bit more affordable. So I think I'm going to do that. So if we start unloading, keep an eye top right. Well, that took way more than I thought it was going to. 4,500 litres left. I might as well sell it. It wasn't enough. I thought I might have, you know, 10,000 litres or something left, but there wasn't a lot. So that one is now done. I can contract complete on that because we haven't borrowed any equipment. There's no straw left on the field. We're good to go. I could have a look at one of the ones here that pays out a little bit more, but what I'm going to do is leave those for the time being. As you can see, we've got a ploughing one come up. We've got a cultivating job there as well. So there are other contracts that are now appearing. A plethora. It's not showing us rain coming anytime soon, but the sky's looking a little bit, it's a bit moody, let's just say that. So I'm going to go and buy a second one of these trailers. That will come in at, what was this one? Is it 18? I'm trying to think what I paid for this now. It will still give me 100 grand as a buffer, and as I start to do more of the harvest contracts, obviously there'll be the payments for those. So we'll be alright, and I think just getting a second trailer would be a good idea. Gives me the ability to split jobs if I need to. I have got the small Parker gravity wagon, but that's only a 15, so yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. There we go, second trailer bought. I think I've gone for a different blue. I'm just looking at them, I thought I'd gone for the same one, but I think I might be a slightly different colour. That's alright. So 60,000 litre capacity. Harvester's already at the field. I moved that over. We're good to go. It's a slightly larger field, this one. Field 23. Again, I don't know what we're going to get off of it. If we have any spare, great. If we don't, not the end of the world. If I pull this over to this side of the road, it does mean I'm not going to go backwards and forwards as many times as well. as I've doubled my capacity. What was I going to say then? Can't remember. I'm sure this is a regular header. Look at the crop moving in the wind. I love that. Another one of those little features. You only get it at harvest time. You don't really notice too much before. A little bit of a sway. Right. Off we go. It's going to take a little bit longer. If we go to our map, you'll see how we're looking down here. Do keep checking because you never know. So that was 27 we've just done. This is 23, which does all of this and around here and up that little bit there. So yeah, a little bit bigger. We might have some left over. I have already got some peas in my silo, so if we have got whatever we have left over, even if it's only 4,000 or 5,000, I'm going to add it to what we've got. Again, I'll keep hold of it for the time being. We might get a great demand. There might be something I decide actually I could use peas for this, or you know. If not, I'll sell them at some point. Our open gardens, our corn is building up. One thing that did happen, you know, I said I sorted out the situation with that pallet add-on to sort out the seed situation. When I removed that, so it wasn't doing it anymore, all the pallets I had on the map disappeared, which was a bit of a nightmare, but we sorted it. So anyway, I shall crack on. It's yielding, I mean, I say it's yielding okay. I don't know how this usually would yield. From what I've done already, 3,500 litres. Is that good? Is it not? I honestly couldn't say, but we'll get something off of it. I'll see you later on when we're done actually, unless we get a full load of 60,000, which we might well do, we'll see. Second load, and the peas are done. Field is cleared. First load of 60,000, this one of 52. We're at 92 or 93% of the contract complete. So we'll see how much of this it takes. And then I'll be moving on to doing barley. Like I say, I'll do the barley field off camera, and then if we get any other ones pop up, I'll jump on those. We need to be getting our finances back up again. And anything over and above that we can keep and store, we will. If we don't, we'll sell it as we go. I don't know how much of this is going to take. Probably a lot of it, I would think. Now we're looking contract complete 97%. It's probably going to take all of this, I would think. You don't get the margins you used to. This unloads really quickly. Well, 7,000 litres, I'll keep hold of that. We've got paid a little bit. I'll keep hold of that, I'll take that over and we'll put it into our pea silo. So 2 harvests complete then. An oat harvest, a pea harvest. Like I said, I'm going to move on to the barley. I'm going to keep a track on all of this. That I can complete because we're done. I've taken on that one, another oat harvest. It was the most. It paid out the most compared to all of these. I might chip away at some of those if I don't get any other larger ones pop up. But for this episode, we're done. I'm going to move on to lentils, which are ours in our 2 fields here, 21 and 15. We'll see what we get crop-wise. Lentils actually don't pay out too badly, if I recall correctly. I'm trying to think, where are we? These will be down here somewhere, won't they? Because they're additionals. Peas are okay. Flax isn't too bad, but lentils, not too bad. The best price is at Saskatoon, but the train, I can't get the train to come, so I won't be selling them there. Northern Mill 1425, that's probably the best price. So I'll probably take them to the Northern Mill. All our lentils. Again, it will depend on what it pays out. So yeah, we'll see. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it. We're into harvest season, we're getting going. I've bought a big new field, so we'll be good to go when it gets around to flax. That's going to be absolutely amazing. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.